Hello, Barb. Hello, Marilyn. Unmute yourself.
Hello.
There we go. Hi,
Hi.
Hello, Barb. Hi, Dawn. Participants 5, admit Linda, admit.
How are
Paula.
you, Barb? How are you, Barb?
I'm just great. How are you, Marilyn?
Yeah, it's nice to see you again.
Good to see you. Hi there, Dawn.
Hi.
I see you on Facebook. Hey, Paula.
Hi.
Hi, this is exciting.
Who's Paula? Wait, Paula.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the news, Paula?
Well, I'm going to decide after tonight, but I'm mostly there. I just have a few questions.
Oh, that would be so.
And I've been riding a lot. Luckily, we have a good week.
I'm riding. Are you riding tomorrow? It's going to be 17, right?
Oh my gosh.
Man, this is grossly unfair to hear this kind of talk.
Yeah.
I am so sorry for you.
Where are
guys.
you?
So our furnace isn't working right now in Canmore, Alberta.
No.
Yeah.
You
So
can
we
come up for dinner.
have a plumber on the way. So
And what's the temperature, Marilyn? Like I saw something about minus 28 the other day.
I don't know what it is right
That
now.
was yesterday. I took a group out Nordic walking this morning, and when we started, it was minus 20. But it was sunny.
Really?
It was sunny and warm. I mean, it was sunny. The sun was warm, so it was great. That they had a great time. They were from Toronto. They made They were Nova Nordisk employees here for a conference, and yeah. So anyone else waiting to come in? Colin, where are you?
Andy, I got rid of the dog.
Good.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi. Yeah, I have a very yappy little corgi.
So he didn't get rid of him. He's just not in the room.
Yeah, I know my husband finally got home, so he's gone for a long walk in minus 26.
Minus 26. There you are, Barb. That's what it is.
Minus 26?
Oh my God.
That's why we're so hardy out here and bundled up.
Where's your hat?
Oh, Jeannie, are you unmuted?
Okay.
Yes, hear you. Good.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great.
So we're still short a few people.
Vicky and her crew.
Vicky and crew, yeah.
Catherine.
Catherine.
So Marilyn, you met Vicky?
Yes, we met Vicky. We went for a walk last week.
We
How
did.
come we haven't gone for a walk yet?
Because you've been busy traveling the world. You just got home from
I know.
Italy, Portugal, Europe.
It was a catch up from 2 years of not traveling.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm even now. I'm back to neutral.
Okay, we'll go for a walk this week. How's that?
Yeah, that would be great. I'm free next week. Yeah, just give me a call.
Okay.
I'm going to teach you how to play mahjong though, Marilyn. It's great for the brain.
Oh, okay, good.
It's good. It's like bridge. It's like bridge, but more fun. Yeah. So yeah, I love mahjong. That's what got me through COVID, playing mahjong.
Jenny, are you in Canmore too?
Yes, I live down the road from Marilyn and down the road from Mandy.
Oh, okay. I didn't
We're all
realize
neighbors.
that.
That's how I met Mandy, and I've met Marilyn a couple of times walking up and down my street. Yeah, we're all within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we'll get started with who's here. Just a quick reminder that we're on the free Zoom. So that means we've got a 40-minute time limit. And so to have the link available on the side so that you can join us again if we go over 40 minutes. I'm thinking we might be done in 40 minutes. I had
Colin.
He's already in Vietnam. He's scoping it out ahead of time. Actually, he's upstairs. He's just upstairs.
Yeah, and I gotta go make onion soup. Hold on.
He's cooking as we speak.
Oh, okay.
So here's Andrea. Admits.
I just sent a message to Catherine. She may
Yep.
be working.
Okay,
Oh,
or Catherine. I think she was working last time too. Hi, Andrea.
you might be muted. Yeah, you're muted, Andrea.
Are you muted, Andrea? You can unmute yourself, please. That should have done it. So anyway, I thought we would go around this time, and I had a different question. Number one on the agenda is, what are you most looking forward to about this trip? So I'll start, and then we'll just go around the circle and through the middle. So to me, having done some cycle touring, it's just meeting the people and experiencing the people and the culture and the scenery. I think the best way to do it is on a bike. If you take your time and you're not racing along, there's nothing like it. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Okay, Barb.
I am looking forward to be on my bike all day. I just love that. And with the scenery changing and all that. And I'm also really looking forward to the food.
That's what I'm concerned about, the food. I'll be packing some protein bars just in case. But anyway, everyone tells me the food is great. I'll survive. Jeannie.
Well, it's a combination of, you said Mandy and Barb. I'm looking forward to the food as well, but also the culture and just a different way to see the country as opposed to the typical way to see it. I really enjoyed the few past bike trips that I've taken. So yeah, that's what appealed to me about this trip.
Linda.
Well, for me, definitely the food resonates with me too, but I've always wanted to go to Vietnam, so I'm just looking forward to meeting people, seeing the country, being on my bike, pretty much what everyone's looking forward to, I think.
Paula.
It came across my computer. I felt excited. The idea of an adventure and a big challenge with
Okay.
other people, like not being alone in that.
Yeah, and so just to clarify, Paula just contacted us just the other day. So we said, come on to the Zoom. She had a few questions, and she may be looking for a roommate, Jeannie. So
Oh,
Jeannie, Paula, if Paula's friend
Okay.
from England doesn't come, but
She's not coming.
okay. So it looks
She
like
can't do it.
Jeannie and Paula, you might want to room together. Okay.
yeah, yes.
So we can connect you via email. Let's go up
Sure.
to the top here to Marilyn and Dawn.
I think it's to see a whole culture from a base of like slow moving through a culture should be exciting. You know, being on a bike, is one heck of a way to see the countryside.
Exactly. Super. Marilyn?
Trinity.
So I have been to Vietnam and I have done some cycling around Hoi An. And I'm just looking forward to getting back there. I love Vietnam. And also just having an opportunity to be back on a bike because I'm never happier than when I'm on a bicycle. I love it. So, and it'll be so great to travel with all of you.
Yes, and Marilyn and Dawn and Barb and Colin and I traveled to Italy to the Amalfi Coast together a few years ago. So it'll be a reunion for us. And Jenny was just there. So,
10 out of 10.
yeah. Okay, so hello, Andrea, let's have you tell us what you're most looking forward to.
Well, I'm looking forward to just immersing myself in the culture and the food and seeing just a different lifestyle, which I've never experienced. So, and doing it leisurely.
And I must say, Peru was my first foray into a developing nation, and it was really special. And very different. Yeah. All right. Colin, how's supper coming
I
along?
keep popping in and out. I'm trying to get some lighting where I'm not look like I'm as pale as a ghost here, but it's not working out.
You look
I'm the one that was pushing for this Vietnam trip because it was a country I wanted to go to when I was in Asia many, many moons ago. And yeah, so when this came up with Exodus, I thought it was the perfect way to do it. And I love that Vietnamese food as well.
Okay.
Now, is everybody located out west? And Catherine's in Winnipeg, or who's out of Toronto?
I'm
So
just outside of Toronto, Collingwood.
Andrea? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And you are too, Paula?
I'm in Toronto.
Oh, okay, okay.
So basically, we have Marilyn and Dawn Canmore, me Canmore, Barb Toronto, Paula is Toronto.
Toronto.
Okay, Colin is here with me. Jenny doesn't count.
And Lisa's in Toronto. Lisa's in Toronto, and then Vicky's in Canmore.
That's right.
Okay, okay.
We didn't ask Trinity. Trinity, what she's
Oh,
looking.
no, we're coming round to Trinity next. Linda is in White Rock, BC now, on a suburb of Vancouver. Linda. And
You can call it a suburb. It's its own committee, its own community with its own mayor,
okay.
just so you know.
All right, and Trinity, thanks for joining us. So Trinity, what are you most looking forward to?
The scenery, I think. Yeah, I'm looking forward to just being in a very different environment on a bicycle, meeting all of you, and I love Vietnamese food. Okay,
very good. Super. Well, that's a really good mix. I guess I better get to like Vietnamese food, right? Okay. Well, second on the agenda is visas and trip insurance. So I'm going to turn it over to Jenny, expert in all things like that.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure everybody checks their passport to make sure that you have 6 months validity from the last date of travel. So say you're coming back in the middle of April. I'm just putting it out there. It has to be valid from 6 months from the middle of April. Okay. And if it's not, then you should start thinking of getting a new passport, because it takes more than, I'm finding if people mail it in, it's 3 months. But if you take it in, I think there's a special expedited way, depending on where your passport office is and what they offer. You need to check into that. So have a look at your passport. Now, I did send you the links for the visa application, but we don't do that until after we've done final payment. So I would say about January you can apply for it, because it's then like the Vietnam visa is valid for so much, like a 3-month period from the date it's issued. So you have to make sure that it covers the time that you're traveling. And I've sent you the 2 links, and also please apply for a multiple entry visa, just in case you go to Siem Reap and come back to Vietnam to fly home. People get caught thinking they've come into Vietnam, they go out, they come back, and they don't have a visa. So those are the 2 things. And Cambodia, you need a visa as well. They're all done online from what I've seen, and you shouldn't have to send in your passport, just a scan of your passport. And all the requirements are there as to taking passport photos and all that. And then for the, that was passports, visas, and insurance. Please connect with Leslie Ann if you live in Alberta. That's the referral that I sent you. And I'll send you a new referral if you're not in Alberta, as to a new contact in Manulife, because Kelly has since left Manulife. So you want to definitely have insurance for your trip with Exodus. They even actually check the policy. When I was on the Amalfi trip, you have to show them the policy, otherwise you cannot start the trip. They're really, really strict about everyone having medical, definitely medical. Okay. Those are 2. Any questions? We'll go to questions and answers at the end. Oh, you do have a question, Trinity.
Yes. I had a very intense conversation with a medical practitioner who was quite concerned that I was riding a bicycle in Vietnam. And he said to make sure that I had medical insurance that allowed me to be flown out of the country and back to Canada.
Correct. So that's
Okay.
called trip interruption. So there's, when you buy your insurance, you have trip cancellation prior to departure, which covers you if you cancel before you go.
Okay.
And then you have the medical emergency portion, which should include emergency evacuation, because if you have an accident in Vietnam, typically you're flown to somewhere like Bangkok or Singapore, because the medical facilities are much better there. So you want to get a policy that has about minimum 1 million, but ours offer 5 million coverage so that they can fly you. That's called emergency evacuation to the next hospital. And then what he mentioned was trip interruption. If you do have an accident while you're in the trip, then that trip interruption takes you home to your country of residence. So those are the 4 main things. And usually you get it as an all-inclusive trip cancellation package. So
And
that's how
is
I like it.
there a company that you recommend?
Yeah, we sell Manulife insurance. So I will send you a referral. Trinity, you're in Ontario, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll send you a referral to Manulife that you can call them and talk about the different options.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
Leslie had said it's very important to purchase that within 72 hours of making your final payment.
So that you're covered for the amount prior to departure.
So, yeah, it's pretty
So
common.
that should be done in December.
Yeah.
Before December. What's the
I would-
date on final
December
payment?
15 is when I'll get everybody's payments through, but I'll start sending out credit card authorization forms a week before, because it's getting so close to Christmas. I'll just have that done, so it'll be charged on your credit card on the 15th. So you can do the insurance the week before and have that ready.
If we do it in November, what happens?
Yeah,
Does it
you can do
matter?
insurance in November too, as long as you know what you want to protect. You want to protect the amount that you've paid for your Exodus trip, as well as any non-refundable portion for your flights. So you want to protect flights as
Mandy,
well.
when you were talking about the 72 hours, Mandy, do you mean have it activate the actual insurance 72 hours before you leave?
You had to
Or just purchase.
it. She said you have to purchase it in conjunction with making your final payment.
Final payment,
Can't
yeah.
wait for weeks afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Because you want to be covered from the minute that you've committed your money. You don't want to wait till January or February just before you go, because you might, get injured over Christmas and have to cancel and claim. So yeah, you want to protect it as soon as it's like an investment. You want to protect your investment. You buy the insurance as soon as you put your money down, which is around the 15th.
I see. Sorry.
Yeah.
So when we're referring to medical insurance, we're referring to medical insurance, not actually just only on the trip, but to insure ourselves medically prior to the trip as well.
No. You don't insure. The medical portion only begins when you start your trip.
So we're just saying
you're not covered.
cancellation insurance.
Yeah.
Two different things.
Yes. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that the trip cancellation insurance needs to be acquired 72 hours before we make our final payment.
Correct.
The medical insurance to which I was referring is separate and is not required 72 hours before the final payment.
It's not, but typically when you buy an all-inclusive package, it all comes as one package. You pay one premium at one time, and it's just triggered. Trip cancellation starts as soon as you buy the policy. The medical starts when you start your trip on March 16th, and your trip interruption starts when you're in destination.
Okay.
So it just triggers it at different times, but your policy is an umbrella policy.
Brilliant. And you will send us the links to that so that we can talk to somebody about all of those things. Brilliant. Thank you so much for explaining.
Okay.
So I have a question. So Mandy and I had some discussion about COVID. And so if you were to come down with COVID and could not go on the trip, is that covered under medical? Was that what, Mandy, that's what we were discussing the other day, correct?
Yeah, I think you just need to talk to an insurance agent because it's very complicated right now. Because there's some insurance, you get medical insurance, and then depending on what the level is of travel, you might need to get additional COVID insurance. But I would just say we're not the insurance experts. I would just call and have those initial conversations. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that too. That's why I refer my clients to the insurance person that's the expert in the company because of all that's happened through COVID. I'm not an insurance expert. There's so many different situations and everyone has different pre-existing conditions and what is and isn't covered. So if you have high blood pressure or diabetes, that might be a it might not be covered. So you need to talk to the insurance person and say, this is what I need coverage. What if I get this? What if I get COVID? And then you have that conversation. And if you want, I would take it the next level and actually write it in an email and get them to answer it in an email. So you understand, what you're purchasing and what you're covered for. Yeah.
Before we do any more questions, we've had Catherine join us.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
Welcome to the group. You are in what part of the country?
I'm in Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. Gosh, we've got West Coast, Alberta, Winnipeg, Ontario. We need to find somebody from the Maritimes. You not have anybody from PEI you can meet. And so, Catherine, we asked everybody.
I'm from Quebec.
Sorry?
I'm from Quebec.
Yeah, but you're not living in Quebec. He does speak French, though. He is bilingual. That may or may not be an asset. I don't know. So, Catherine, what are you most looking forward to about the trip?
Oh, seeing the countryside, the visual and the culture and yeah. My son was there just about 4 years ago and a whole tour of that part of Asia, and then he said Vietnam was his favorite.
Yeah. Well, I must admit, I've heard a lot of good things from a lot of different people that have been on the trip. Marilyn, you have friends that have been on the trip. Yeah. Okay.
With Exodus? With
Yeah.
that? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And one was basically before she left a non-cyclist. It was her first long distance trip.
Oh, really?
That's intense.
Yeah, she loved it. So she lives in Toronto and
Okay.
yeah, she absolutely loved it. She's hooked now. So now she's doing the waterfront trail rides and doing all those things. So it's good.
Good. So our next topic is the WhatsApp group for communications. This was recommended by Vicky. Her and her group use WhatsApp for various different things. I personally have never used it because I always struggle with, did someone send me something now via text message, Facebook Messenger, email? I didn't want to add anything else, but she explained that in Trip, it's a great way to communicate, share photographs, and it kind of groups all your communication in that one group. So she said, I don't have to go filtering through 200 emails to find the emails about this group, and we can share ideas and inspiration and training and whatever else. So I will continue to send everything out via email because I know not everyone is comfortable or on WhatsApp. So just a hands up, who's on WhatsApp?
Oh, the whole group.
Oh, okay. So not everyone has joined the group though. So if you could, do I need to resend the invite?
Oh,
And the other thing is that I know that a bunch of people have, I see their phone numbers, but I don't know who they are. Like it's
Oh.
416 and 613. So perhaps you could just say, hello, I'm such and so. And I guess going forward, I will definitely keep emailing things, but I guess I'll put it on WhatsApp as well. And then when we get to Vietnam, I guess we'll switch more to WhatsApp, right?
Oh, yeah.
It seems to make sense. So that's that. Jenny is going to discuss, oh, Catherine is waiting. Really?
I'm switching from my phone to my computer. That's why.
Right. We saw you driving home, I think, and now you're home, right?
Right. So,
She's got a twin. Oh, there she goes. Okay. Turn it over to Jenny to discuss some pre and post trip ideas. The only thing I can say about that is that I discovered the Vietnam Now website, which is the official travel website for the country. And that was pretty cool. There's a lot of neat information on there. So I kind of had fun searching.
Sorry, what was that, Mandy? I didn't catch that.
Vietnam Now,
Okay.
the official travel site for the country. That's all I have to say. Jenny?
I would suggest you get a good guidebook. And I usually use the DK series. You can get it on Amazon, or I think I lent my copy to Mandy if you have it handy to show them.
It's
And just put it up on the screen there. And the
Oh.
Cambodia one. I find it's great. It's handy, has lots of maps on it. I find the sections that I like, I take photos with me when I go traveling, so I don't have to take the whole book. But let's talk about the tour starts in Ho Chi Minh City. If you're going to be flying in, I would fly in about 3 days early, because you've got a lot of jet lag to deal with, and the humidity and the temperatures, it's quite warm coming from, cold Canada. And Ho Chi Minh City's got a lot of things to do. You could fit a lot of things in 2 days. There's lots of sites, markets, shopping to do there. If you wanted to get a pair of prescription glasses, that's a good place to get it. You just need 24 to 48 hours, and you can bring your prescription with you, which I always travel with my prescription if you break your glasses. There's no men here that want to have a suit made, so that's all right. I recommend the dressmaking if you wanted to do one up in Hoi An. They do really good silk dressmaking there, but I'll still stay on Ho Chi Minh City. There's a lot of museums related to the Vietnam War, if you're interested in that, and the Chi Chi tunnels. That's a kind of a 2-hour tour outside. I will send you a link for a company that I use for a lot of my tours when I'm either on a cruise or on my own. It's called Via Tour. And they work with local tour companies that have been vetted to be on that site. And so they have reviews and such. And they typically pick up at, hotels or central locations. So I'll send you those, and you'll maybe be able to pre-book, if you wanted to see the Chi Chi tunnels, for example, because you don't want to take a bus out and drive back. Be very careful when you're in any city in Vietnam. The traffic is horrendous. Okay, always cross the roads with people. That's all I can say. Another good tour that you can do is like a city tour around the city. They have scenic river cruises too in Ho Chi Minh City. So that's the first 3 days. I know Mandy was looking at a getaway to an island. I don't know if you're going to do that pre or post, Mandy, but Phu Quoc Island you were looking at. I know it sounds weird, but it's Phuquoc. If anybody wants to do a little bit of beach time before getting on a bike, just to thaw out, beautiful beaches. You actually fly to the island and you just stay in a nice beach resort for maybe 2 or 3, 4 days. And then you start your tour, and then you make your way all the way up to Hanoi. Hanoi again is a beautiful capital city. It's got a lot of French architecture influence, lots of day tours, temples, shopping area. It's alive at night with night markets. So again, 3 days there, before you fly out. And we talked about Cambodia, and somebody sent some good ideas.
Yeah, Jeannie. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was great.
Jeannie, yeah. So those are some great ideas. And I mean, you can talk amongst yourself if you wanted to get together, and maybe 2 people want to go 2 or 4 as a group, go to Cambodia. I would maybe suggest doing as a post trip after you've done all the hard work, because then when you get to Siem Reap, there's some beautiful hotels there set in gardens, swimming pools, and it can be a relaxing, after the bike trip, because there's also massage shop parlors there that, oh my God, you can do foot massage for an hour for $5. It's crazy.
Siem
So
Reap is where Angkor Wat is, right?
yeah, that's right. Sorry. Siem Reap is the capital of Cambodia. And it's where I think a lot of you are interested in going to see the ruins of Angkor Wat, the huge temple area up there. There's not just the one Angkor Wat, there's many temple series. Fascinating. And you probably need about 3 to 4 days there.
Yeah.
And it's easy enough to do a tour there. There's a lot of guides you can hire, and the rickshaw drivers that you can rent. He will take you around for like 20 to 30 to 40 US dollars pretty much all day, and just stop at each temple site and just you go exploring, and he waits there because you don't pay him until the end. So obviously has a vested interest in waiting for you.
So what?
Sorry, I thought in the brochure it said that the Cambodia was before Vietnam.
It's not in the tour. The tour is only Vietnam cycling. There is an optional Cambodia tour with Exodus, but I personally think you can do Cambodia on your own.
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
thank
think
you.
it's, you know, if you have two, it's nice to have two people. Doing it solo would be a bit hard.
Right,
But if you
okay.
did two, you can still get your own hotel rooms. I mean, if you look on hotel.com, there's so many good hotels, boutique hotels, and just good location.
When we get to the Ho Chi Minh City, was it not included in our tour of the Chi Chi tunnels?
I have to check. It may be. You're right, Gina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Thank
it
you. Because they have a section where they say optional tours. So let me
Right.
check the optional so you don't double up before the
Yeah.
your-
Yeah, the going
a
into
good point.
tunnel was
Yeah.
included.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
Let me just welcome Lisa to the group. Hello,
Hi, Lisa.
unmute yourself, please, Lisa. You're on mute. No,
Bottom of your screen,
bottom of your screen.
left side.
We'll let Lisa work on that.
Yeah.
It could be on the top.
There should be
Did
a
anyone else? Did
It's
anyone
on the
have any?
top.
Oh, okay.
F3, sometimes it's F3.
Yeah.
Did anyone else have any ideas about where they want to go pre or post? Are we
Sorry,
going to keep it?
I'm unmuted.
Thank you. Well, let me just interrupt here. We've got 7.5 minutes left. So maybe we will just have Lisa introduce herself and then go on to item 5, which is finding a few more people for the trip and then Q&A. So hi, Lisa. We asked everyone else what they were most looking forward to about the tour. So where are you located?
I'm in Toronto right now, and
Toronto.
I'm actually for a round the world trip tomorrow. So I'm a little bit. That's why I ended up a little bit late today. So I am looking forward to spending some slow time seeing a fantastic country and spending a little more time to see the surrounding countries. I've spent very little time in Asia, and I'm not a high-tech cyclist, but I'm looking forward to the excursion, and I'm, doing my bit to get my hoo-hoo in shape for it.
Lovely.
No, it's I think it'll be great, and March will be, I think, a great time to do it. So looking forward to it.
Excellent. So yeah, Q&A. Put your hand up if you have a question. Catherine.
Yes, I noticed that you're recording this and I missed the first part of it. Will you be sending around the recording so I can replay it?
I can do that.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Okay. And I had a question. It was, I was just thinking that because I'm coming out of Ottawa, so I was thinking as we're organizing flights, particularly those people coming out of Toronto, that I could just join whatever flight you're going to take, where the majority of people are going to take. And that way we can, maybe stay in the same hotel and then travel before the trip. So that would make it easier on me.
Would it be helpful if I circulate everyone's email with where they are, who's where in the country?
Well, now I know. So
Okay.
now I,
All right.
yeah.
Quick
Yeah.
notes. Right. Good.
Yeah.
Do that then.
But I'll be in touch with the ones that have.
I think that's a great idea, because if you're coming from Ottawa, you'll be coming to Toronto, right?
Anyway,
And
Yeah.
then we'll see each other in the waiting area. It would be so silly if we didn't recognize each other and we're on the same plane, and then we can share a
For
cab.
days.
Get to the hotel together and all that stuff.
Exactly, exactly.
The only aspect of this is that we're thinking we were talking about going to Cambodia before the trip.
Okay.
So that's something we'd have to establish whether we were going to do it before or after, as you've suggested we should.
Oh, either way, it depends on your work and your timeline and your plans and your flights.
Right.
Either way is fine.
But it is something that maybe we will discuss more, just so that we're all coordinated together and it's best for everybody, you know?
Paula?
I have a question which I've asked on email, but I'm excited, Marilyn, that you had a friend who's not a rider who loved it. So I have a road bike. I can do 30 to 40K just fine. But I don't know about a bigger, heavier, different bike. And I'm worried about how I'm going to train and get used to something so different. But your friend had no trouble.
No, and Paula, I can put you in touch with her. If you would like
That's
that.
my only worry, is being able to ride a completely different kind of bike. And how will I know that?
Yeah, she's on sabbatical from U of T right now, but I think she's kicking around. So through Mandy, I'll get Jillian's.
Okay, thank you. That would be wonderful. Thanks very much.
And Paul, in addition to what I shared with you, like I have a road bike and a mountain bike, and I really don't notice an appreciable difference in how it rides, like in terms of, you know, your
Really?
your endurance. It's a little heavier, but not that it makes any difference.
It's not significant.
Yeah, and these aren't, I don't, you know, they're supposed to be, everyone says the bikes are good, they're well maintained.
Yes.
They're not going to be
Okay.
clunkers. And it's good. I actually prefer sometimes my mountain bike over my road bike because it has the granny gear. So for that day when we're doing a climb, the big climb, it's nicer to have your legs go faster
Spinning.
in an easier gear. Then road bikes tend to be a little bit more challenging to ride up an incline, right, folks, cyclists?
Right. I think you did say it's mostly pretty flat terrain though, isn't
It
it?
is,
Just kind of
yeah.
rural, and we'll be stopping and starting and looking at things and stuff. So
It's pretty easy cycling. People have said that do any kind of cycling, except the one day where you ride up the switchbacks. And again, that's going to be fairly gradual because it is switchbacks. And if you get super tired, you can hop in the sag wagon. There's nothing to say that you have to cycle the whole thing.
Our friend Dennis mentioned that the bikes are extremely well looked after. He said they maintain them every morning, every night. If you have one little gear that's not clicking in properly, they'll pull your bike aside and fix it right away. And he also said that in the cities, when you're riding, there are usually 4 employees with the group. And what they do is they space themselves, so they're keeping the traffic under control.
Yeah.
Wow.
High safety.
2 minutes.
Thank you.
We have 2 minutes left. Any other pressing questions?
I'm gonna ask if maybe if we put together a spreadsheet with everybody's names, when they're arriving and where they're planning on going, prior to being in Ho Chi Minh City, then that might help others that are waffling about what they want to do. Because we've been talking about flying to Bangkok. There's a lot more flights than going into Siem Reap before we go to Ho Chi Minh City. There's just more options for flights that way, but you know, that's sort of what we had in mind, and then maybe it just helps others make a decision and we can all try to hook up one way or another.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Nice.
Okay.
Just think through numbers, shared it with everybody on the list, then that might and everyone can put in their own information.
You need a Google Doc so somebody can take the lead on that one.
or one of those documents where we just fill it in ourselves, right? Some fillable form, so it's no big deal to do it, no work for anybody. We just put in our own stuff.
Exactly.
And if our plans change, then we just go in and revise it. That's a great idea.
Colin, I nominate you for starting that. He's the spreadsheet guy. Less than a minute. So December 15th again is the magic final payment date. Yeah, nice to see everyone this time. Missing Vicky.
Enjoy your training. I'll be thinking of you.
Yeah. we're selling off a queen size bed to make room for the the bike trainer to go in our spare bedroom. Anyone looking for a queen size bed in Canmore? Or
Go, Mandy. This is life changing.